your prices here are very competitive. Talk about your prices as compared to, say, a store that we were just talking about, as far as one that's more of a mainstream store compared to an independent store like yours.
Most mainstream stores don't have people that are knowledgeable enough to carry the used product that we carry. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is, you know, you got to have people that are knowledgeable enough to be able to look at the records, buy the right stuff, because, you know, I'm really picky about the stuff I buy. And I think the stores that do that, who shall remain nameless, tend to buy everything, and there's really no standard as to what they'll put out. But you know, I always tell people, you know, probably 80% of the stuff that walks in my store walks back out, as far as people soliciting me to buy stuff. So I'm really picky about it, you know. But I price stuff at a price point where I think collectors who are, you know, active collectors can keep their habit alive, basically. You know, I want people to come in and buy new stuff and explore and, you know, keep the journey alive. And, you know, you can't do that if you're asking New York or Los Angeles prices. And a lot of the stuff that I get, I could sell for way more on the internet, but it doesn't interest me. I don't want to do that. I want people to come in my store and be involved in their process. In other words, you know, it's really not about money. I mean, sort of is. You got to make money to stay open, but that's really not, you know, that's really not my main thing.
You're feeding the addiction.
Well, for me, I'm one of them.
Right.
That's the thing. So,
avid record collector.
When we get in a big collection, I'm just as excited as everybody else. I mean, that's what I live for. I live for digging through musty old records, looking for stuff that I've never seen before. So, I can, you know, it's a different perspective, because I'm not a clerk working at a chain store just going through the motions, you know. I'm one of you. I'm trying to light the spark. And a lot of times the spark lasts for a lifetime. And it gives people a really interesting and fulfilling, I hate to say hobby, because it's really not a hobby. It's more a way of life. I mean, record collecting is so much more than a hobby. You know, it's an exploration of history on a very high level.
Bringing a younger generation into this is a wonderful way for them to get introduced to some music and listening to music a different way.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Well, isn't that the irony of it? They tried to sell the non-thing to this generation, and they rejected that concept. They said, no, I want the thing. I want, you know, a material object that I can look at while I'm listening to the music. And by the way, streams suck, and I don't like the way they sound, and I want better sound. So all these kids are now saying, you know, I'm better than that. And that's really, if there's one thing that revival is about, that's what it's about. It's a revolution. It's not a revival.
A revolution.
It's a revolution. It's people saying, you know, You tried to sell me that bullshit so many times. I'm not falling for it this time.
I didn't wanna,
We covered
I didn't
enough
want to mess
geeky-
anything up, so
geeky
I
weirdness.
stopped.
that you know the psycho geeks are going to be into it.